Hello YouTube. First thing I want to start off by saying is sorry for the background noise. This is the most available time I have to film the Christmas lights, so you're just going to have to deal with the noise. This is the 2023 behind the scenes Christmas light show season. We're going to start off with saying that this is not only a behind the scenes video, but also a surprise. And that there's going to be a surprise in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off with where we start every year and where the Christmas lights get power from. This year, there's a lot more wires coming out of it. Usually I have 2 extension cords going across here and going to a Gemmy light show over there. This year, the Gemmy light show is sitting on a shelf in the garage right behind here. And that is where those wires come into play. Those, the landscape wire. That's where those come into play. You also have 2 extension cords, a speaker cable, Wi-Fi hub wire, because Wi-Fi hub is outdoors this year, and a link port cable for the Gemmy light show, which I'll get into all that in just a minute. You can see here, we go along. We hit all this, which, sorry for the leaves, we did have, again, a really heavy rainstorm, and it knocked a bunch of leaves, which I got to pick all this up before I take down the Christmas lights. So either way, goes over, and you can see here there's some more extension cords. That goes and hits over here to this. This is what's coming from the Gemmy light show and hits this tree, which you can see here the box hook fell. I got to remount it, but either way, this is my redesign of my light show trees. So the old trees I have packed in the box and not even being used right now. This is my new addition to this light show. And then those wires go along. They hit this tree and this tree, which these trees cannot be disconnected. So which means when one tree goes, all 3 have to go. Then out of that, which you can see some vampire plugs there, like what some people like to call them, but just regular plugs that like I put on the end of the lamp cord, and that goes and hits the archway, and that also goes and hits the oak tree. Sorry about that. So you kind of saw a sneak peek there, but we'll get to that later on in just a minute. Now that goes and hits this oak tree. Now this year, you can already see, you can't really see it right now, but there's a difference with this oak tree. Yes, this right here got cut off. So this year we had to cut it off because of a branch that was over the house, and you can see here everything's brighter now. And that is simply due to the fact that we had a lot of leaves here, and we had a lot of branches over here that was killing the grass, so we had to get that done. So now we have these lights. The light show extends all the way up there, and I purposely designed this cord to where I can easily do that, so I didn't have to disconnect anything. You can see here, for the most part, none of the lights have actually slipped down the tree, which I'm very thankful about. So the light show starts all the way up here, and then up there is just a static on, which is great. So now you can see over here, the archway is still the same from last year. The archway has not changed at all. There is a separate extension cord for the oak tree because the upper part stays on all the time, just like last year. And this year we actually have taller ladders where next year I can actually go ahead and go even higher on the oak tree. So that'll be really great. I hope to do that next year. Now let's go on to lawn decor, which the static on, oh wait, no. I'm sorry, we have a second part to this year's light show. Let me wait for this background noise to go away. All right, so over here, I was able to connect a second controller to my Gemmy lightshow. So it's not on right now because it's not plugged in, but I was able to connect a secondary controller to this Gemmy lightshow. I was able to hack into the board, and I found the link port cable, which was not even connected, and I was able to fully use the second controller. And I found this on eBay, so I got it, and that is hooked up to these bushes. Now these bushes actually have two parts. The bushes have incandescent lights going all the way across it, which are just on all the time. Well, whenever the timers kick on, the incandescent lights are just on. Then there's LED strings that are separated into channels. There's two sets per channel on the LEDs. So each channel has two sets of 100 lights for the Gemmy light show, and it looks like the bush is fading off, not turning on and off, which is what I wanted. And then connected to that was a tree I fixed this year. This right here, this has about also two sets of incandescent lights per channel, and it's fully incandescent. And next year I might make it fully LED, or I may not even use this tree, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Now for the rest of the lawn decor, we have this extension cord, which is splitting off to go to the oak tree. That's going to the palm tree, which lights up the palm tree, but also goes over and hits these two trees, which you'll see at nighttime. These four strings in the back do not work. I haven't gotten around to fixing them yet, and that may not happen until next year. So unfortunately, they just don't work. The star topper, I was able to fix it though. That way we can at least have that. And the four strings are in the back, so I don't really mind. And this is my Gemmy Diamond Sparkle tree, which I'm expecting to stop working in the next couple of years, because this year we had a couple of lights flickering, not the way they're supposed to. So in these next few years, I expect this tree to stop working. In that case, I'm gonna start collecting Gemmy C9 orchestra light stuff and turn this to an orchestra lights tree. So now we can go ahead and go on to the orchestra light system, which this year we got a lot of stuff. So to start off, what we had last year, we had a projection set with two icicle sets, the pathway markers, this C9 set, and that was it. This year we have a lot more. To start off, this is the new for 2023 orchestra lights pathway tubes right here. There's two sets, and next year I plan on getting more to maybe extend there. I know they're basically 180, but maybe I'll extend it here, maybe I'll go put some there, extend out a driveway. I might get a couple more sets for next year, but right now they're not available. But these sets, they're really nice pathway tubes. They're really nice. We still have the same candy canes, still the same 2022 snowflake sets, and a C9 set. However, now we upgraded to the projection set with 5 right here. And don't worry, my projection set with 3 is actually still being used. I just put it out a couple days before Christmas because I didn't know how it was going to look, and I just didn't really have time to get out here and do that. Here's my projector set with 3, illuminating these 3 bushes. So this is also part of orchestra lights. I couldn't put any regular lights on here. That's why I have projectors on there. And then, furthermore, Wi-Fi Hub 2023 is outdoors, which right now is actually 2022 in there. You can still see the Ethernet cable going in, but my Wi-Fi Hub fried because of an update. So got that switched over to 2022, and I've got my light show back up and running this year to where I can still film a video. Last year I barely made it to film a video before it came in, so they're sending me a new one, but everything still works, so we can still film the video. And also this right here looks like an incredible light show tree, and that's because it was, but I switched it over to orchestra lights, putting the incredible light show bulbs on the C9 covers. I took all the C9s off and put the orchestra lights covers on, and this tree is doing amazing. Now currently I only have one Edison bulb up there hooked up, but I do have 2 Edison bulbs I got free along in the package with this tree duo. which is also new for this year. I got this on eBay used. As you can see here, it's slightly yellowing. I didn't get that. I got it like that. And honestly, these trees have been working great. They both change colors. Every bulb works. There's just some minor defaults, like, or disrepair, which is like this bulb cover's cracked and a couple of them other are cracked, but honestly, that's okay. And the keypad, I had to disable it, open up and disable that because it would put the thing in the Bluetooth mode. So other than that, the tree duo has been working great, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. Now we got to go to over here, and then I'll get to the roof. Over here, we have more lights over here now. I used to not put any lights, but now we have some lights out here. You can see here's my lightshow box and speaker, or my universal virtuoso speaker, whichever one you want to call it. This is my 2022 model. And you can see here's all the spirals, and the colored ones are on channels 1, 3, and 5. The white ones are on 2, 4, and that mailbox is on channel 6. So it goes 1 through 6 this way. So that's how that's all hooked up. And mostly it's homemade extension cords, which if anyone wants to see a video about that, I'll go ahead and do a separate video on how to do the homemade extension cords. You can see here I used a lock this year. And the palm tree was also wrapped with along the cord, so this will not blink, it just stays static on. Now for the roof. So up here on the roof, we got it back up just a bit. You can see up there we have 2023 hanging snowflakes. There's 3 of them on this on the house, and there's also 3 sets of icicles now. We have more sets. We got another set there, and 3 new hanging snowflakes for the 2023 season. That was part of this year's lineup. So this year we upgraded on orchestra lights. Next year I have a new product. It's actually right here in front of the garage door right now, which you kind of heard earlier. Are you ready? So 3, 2, 1. That is right. I found this on eBay. It looks much more yellowed while it's outside, but when it was in the garage, it didn't look that bad. I did have to do one minor repair, which you can see there. It didn't actually have to happen, but I cut the wire there because I thought that was the problem. This tree wouldn't turn on unless it's in religious melody or jingle bells. I found inside the control board, it just came unsoldered completely. And I left it open because I didn't do it right the first time, and I want to make sure it's actually done right. So I have to make sure that that's working before I put that completely back together. So there's only a couple screws holding that together. So, and I'll show you it in just a minute. So that's due for next year, which will be a separate review on that. So for the most part, everything has survived. There has not been an issue as far as lighting. So really happy about that. So far everything has pretty much survived the 2023 season. Nothing has actually broken, nothing has gotten cut. The only bulb I actually had to replace was on actually this LED set right here. I had to replace this bulb, which you can see the lens is falling off of it. It went out. Which is great about the LEDs is that you can actually figure out which one it is because they slightly glow. But let's go ahead and show off this right here. So you can see here they work just fine now. So they work really great, and honestly I'm really happy to have that in my collection. Now what am I going to do with it next year? There's 2 options. Option A, I can bunch these trees together, like put one tree there, one tree here, one tree here, and then do the same thing over here. Or some of my family even said that, like, hey, if you don't have room in the yard, take these trees out for next year and use those. Which I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. I would like to use this set though. So I might just bunch them up over here and bunch these up over here. And then that'll work. There'll be a lot of trees in the yard, but honestly, they look great. So I'm glad to have this set. It doesn't stay here. I just brought it out for the video. So I just wanted to show you guys the new addition to the light show. And they work really good. And there'll be a separate review video on it. So I thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like this video. And stay tuned for the review video. Also the all songs video at nighttime for both orchestra lights and the Jammy Light Show. Now this year there's going to be a separate angle. I just skipped the song, but there'll be a separate angle. It'll actually have to go like this a little bit more, because you're gonna have to get those bushes and that back tree there. And in orchestra lights, I don't even know how I'm gonna do that, because I have more lights over there now and lights over here. Now we can also get this one at nighttime just by itself too, if you want that. So let me know in the comments of this video before I go ahead and film it. So I thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like this video, and have a great day.